Hello my friends, today we're taking a deep dive into a full face of drugstore makeup. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some of your top favorites. If there was one drugstore makeup product you couldn't live without, what would it be? I took a bunch of your suggestions, went and saw what's new in the zoo. In the drugstore makeup realm, I picked up a ton of things, had some things on hand, mixed it in with my favorites, and we're just gonna do a full face of affordable drugstore makeup. And there's a lot of good products here. There's a few new products that I was really excited to try, and we're just gonna take a dive right in. So I have to give a shout out to the L'Oreal Lumi line, the entire line, because this was like the top recommended little base concoction that so many of you sent over. The Lumi Glotion has been a favorite of mine for years and years and years. And then they also have the Lumi Le Glow tint, which is also stunning. So this is what I like instantly wanted to go to because I already had it. But then someone was like, oh, you need to try the e.l.f. Whoa Glow Sun Touchable SPF 30 sunscreen. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna put this on. We're gonna see how it is. Technically it says to use this as the last step of your skincare before you apply makeup. So I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. I wanted to try this because if there's a fabulous, beautiful, affordable tinted sunscreen, then hell yeah. It says it illuminates, hydrates, and primes. And it also says that it has a little sun-kissed glow in there. So let's start with this. It looks like a good old sunscreen to me. It's giving sun protection. Oh, it just smells like your classic sunscreen as well. Technically one of my favorite sunscreens ever, the La Roche-Posay Ultra Fluid SPF sunscreen, is available at the drugstore, but I wouldn't necessarily loop it into the affordable train. I feel like there's different tiers of the drugstore makeup. You have like the e.l.f.'s and the Wet n Wilds, at least in Canada, that are like super affordable. Essence, super affordable. And then there's that next tier, like the L'Oreal base products have gotten wildly expensive, so I could hardly call it like affordable. So technically the La Roche-Posay is available at the drugstore, but I wouldn't loop that into like your classic affordable price point. You know what I mean? So this is applying stunningly. It is so thick and juicy. Oh, I just got that all in my hair, didn't I? Ugh. Okay, so instantly I had a feeling that this would happen because it's so thick. And all I put on before it was my vitamin C and my Instant Angel Dew face cream, and it's already pilling, especially around my mouth. At first I thought it was okay, but yeah, oh no, it's too thick. The pilling isn't as bad as like some products I've seen, but definitely like not a cute vibe. So I just blotted some of that off. So sorry. Let's just go in with this L'Oreal Lumi Le Glow tint. I have the shade 100 Cool. I might end up getting a little bit more pilling, so I'm just going to really softly try to blend that in. I haven't used that in a while. I forgot how pretty it was. So nice. Now, the one thing I love about drugstore makeup, and when you guys send me your requests, is that we just have so many of the same favorites. And I find there's not as much turnover when it comes to drugstore makeup. Like, obviously, there's always limited edition collections and things, but for the most part, the good products remain. Like the Lumi Glotion. This has been around forever, and so many of you were sending through your favorites, and you're like, I've been using this for 10 years. I've been using this for 15 years, and it's nice to see. So a lot of you sent through and said that the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum is one of your favorite products, and I would have to agree. I actually just went and picked a fresh one up because I had a deeper shade in my collection. I got the lightest shade, the shade Fair, and this is so pretty. It's been a minute since I've used it, but I can tell you that it has been one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore for such a long time, especially if you have dry skin. I dipped into that thinking, oh, let's use just a little amount, and then bam, bam, a little goes a long way, always. Because this one's a little bit more serumy and wet, I do actually prefer it blended in with a finger or a sponge. But sometimes it's nice to just like kind of get the product around with a brush. So I'll just move it around with a brush and then pat it in with my finger. And I have to say, when we're talking about like cleanliness and hygiene when it comes to makeup and concealer specifically, I love that this one's in a pump because I don't feel disgusting by going and double dipping, you know? Very clean. Love that. So thank you, NYX, for that one. I forgot to take the sunscreen off my forehead. That's pilling so badly. Oh, it's something that doesn't really show up so much in this kind of lighting, but my forehead is literally peeling away. Ugh. I feel like this happens to me every single time I try and film like a new makeup video or makeup first impressions or any kind of testing. Like something always goes awry on the skin front, and this is why I stick with my favorites. Anyway, so sorry. Whoa Glow is a whoa no for me. Now, there were a lot of different options when it came to like cream and stick contours and bronzers. I've just got to say that the e.l.f. ones are my favorite. The e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, the e.l.f. Halo Glow contours, they're just so good. I see no reason to switch it up because they just do the thing every single time. I have been using tan lines for so long. It is so good. I love the packaging and I love the shade. And for my pale skin tone, it's that perfect combination between a contour and a bronzer, so you don't even have to buy 2 products. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place that everywhere. It's so nice. It blends in like a dream. And truly, other than like shade availability, the formula is incredible. Like, look at that glow. Look at that little tan. So nice. All right, let's set this all in. I grabbed the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray, shockingly fine mist, major makeup grip. I was like, okay, let's give this a go. Let's see how fine this mist really is. Really, really fine indeed. Okay, great. Smells like Play-Doh. Play-Doh? Is that what I'm smelling? Is it gripping me? Fine mist indeed. That was lovely. And whatever that scent may be, it didn't make me sneeze, so that's fine. Did it add some dew, add some glow? Let me know. Let's do some blush. I grabbed 2 options because I saw this one. This is the e.l.f. Monochromatic Multi-Stick, and I was like, oh, cute. I wanna try that. Again, love anything new from e.l.f. And then someone also recommended this one in particular, like this exact shade. This is the Lumi Liquid Blush in the shade 601 Dewy Worth It. And I said, okay, I'll give this one a go. So we'll just do one on either side and see which one we like best. Not the same, not comparing the 2, but I do just wanna try. I liked the idea of this little stick because I thought if it was a dupe for any of the other sticks, it's got a little bit of a glow. Let's see how she goes. Ooh, okay, very, very much more pigmented than I was expecting, but I love that color. I'm probably gonna need to go in and blend with a little bit more concealer, but let's just go between the 2. That is so pretty, adds such a nice glowing pink sheen. And then on the other side, let's do the Dewy Worth It, which appears to be a little bit orangey, honestly, which might be so nice going into the summer. Okay, also so pretty, like totally different vibe. I actually like this kind of peachier vibe for what I'm wearing right now. Whoa, that's so nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Like instantly, it's blending in like my Laura Mercier ones do. Wow. I'm just gonna put a little bit on top. I think they're close enough that it wouldn't look like so wildly different. No, one is peach and one is pink. Let's just, okay. We'll just touch that up real quick. And we'll just have a heavy blush day. That's fine by me. Different formulas, different colors, but both so pretty. Approved! Now for powder, a lot of you have actually been recommending this powder to me for a little while now. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Filter. I got the shade Fair Neutral Cool. And let's just take a little bit of this and use it to set in all of the magic that we've put on our face. I'm just gonna do a little bit underneath my eyes. Also on the forehead that had previously been pilling, so I won't judge it too harshly. I also grabbed my brush, but I did want to say that it does come with a little powder puff in here, which is very, very cute. Love that old school packaging. Every time I do a dedicated drugstore makeup video, I always feel like I end up with the most glowy base ever, and I love it. Love it. Okay, I want to set in the rest of the face using a powder bronzer. I saw this NYX Buttermelt bronzer and really liked the packaging, loved the vibe. They had a lot of nice, pretty looking shades, and I was like, you know what? It's been a minute since I've tried a new powder bronzer from the drugstore. So this one looked very, very promising. It's nice and light, and it's got a super soft, like truly buttery feeling. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of this and use that on the outer, oh, wow, really, so much of that just came out. Yeah, let's use that on just the outer bits of the face. It's really light, so I'm hoping that it won't change too much about the makeup, but just have that really nice soft bronzing effect and add a little bit of glow. It feels silky to the touch. It's really pretty. This would also be a fabulous one to use on the eyes. They also had powder blushes in this formula and packaging, so that's a good one to note. Let's jump on over to the eyes. I have to say, I have like consistent favorites when it comes to drugstore eyeshadow palettes. I think Wet n Wild does the best. Like one of my favorite ones of all time is the Walking on Eggshells. This little palette that they have is so good. e.l.f. has similar ones to this too. They're fantastic, beautiful. If you want the most gorgeous, shimmery, very like Chanel, Dior, Luxe vibes, the Revlon So Fierce palettes, they're so good. I saw they came out with a few new shades of this. Wet n Wild also had some new shades of this. I didn't want to pick it up because I do have so many and the shades remain the same. So these are kind of my favorite eyeshadows. There's also a lot of amazing eyeliners and cream shadow options. So a few that I've used like repeatedly in the past, but I did see this CoverGirl Clean Eye color. this little eyeshadow stick, and this one was the shade, what was the shade? Wow, the writing was so small, I'm so sorry. This is the shade Sky Dust, and it looked like a gorgeous dupe of so many of the shimmery shades that we so often use in the higher end spectrum of makeup, and it looked so pretty and so creamy, and I was like, listen, I just have a feeling that this is gonna be perfection, so let's just pop this one on. I love this like kind of taupey cool tone shade. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was bronze. It was in the wrong section on the shelf, so whoops, but this is absolutely the shade I was going for. I find, in my experience, it's actually quite hard to find like true cool toned makeup products at the drugstore. So often it pulls quite warm. So if you're looking for a gorgeous like taupey cool tone shadow, like hello. Oh yeah, like it's so pretty. It might not be long lasting. I can't speak for the longevity of it, but yeah, so pretty. No chunky bits of glitter anywhere. It's quite creamy and nice. That just blended out so beautifully. Yeah, that's a nice one. Every once in a while, they really just bring out a good gem, don't they? What I am gonna do though, because we've got quite a warm bronzy base on, I'm just gonna dip back into our bronzer and just apply that into the crease. And I think that will kind of tie it all together nicely. Yeah, so nice. Love that. Cute. Now, I actually picked up quite a few different eye recommendations from you guys. One of them was the Annabelle water liners. Dun, 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 dun. Someone recommended that I pick up the beige water liners, and I believe that this looks to be right up my alley. And Annabelle is a brand that I definitely don't use very much of, nor do I see many people talk about, but I also haven't used like a beige liner in my waterline in quite a while. But yeah, that's beautiful. Applied so nicely. Great. Toppity tip recommendation. Oh my gosh, sorry, I skipped right over these e.l.f. eyeshadow glitter toppers. Woo! Fine as Fleck glitter eyeshadow. I got White Hot and Champagne Showers. These are the two shades I picked up. You guys know I live for a glitter eyeshadow topper. I have to say, I really enjoy the packaging. It's plastic, but it's like sturdy. Good. This looks like that gorgeous kind of runway. Can you see anything? Like starshine sparkles. It's not too chunky. It's not too in your face. So if you like a really like subtle, soft little starlight kind of shimmer, that's actually so nice. Let's put it on. Yeah, they're really soft, not chunky whatsoever. But I wouldn't actually say that this is a dupe for like the Makeup Mario shimmers, the Patrick Ta shimmers. Those ones are like so, like they make your body look wet. It's crazy. This is much softer, much more fine, but you kind of like get that idea. Yeah, they're just not as bright and punchy, I guess, as the Patrick Ta one. The Patrick Ta one, you put it on and you're like, whoa, I can see that from outer space. This one is like a soft shimmer. It's cute. I honestly thought it would be a little bit more. I had seen a lot of people be like, oh my god, this is such a pretty dupe, you have to try it. And I'm like, it's pretty. I wouldn't say it's a dupe though. Wouldn't call it a dupe. I picked up 3 different mascaras that I want to try all at the same time, okay? Because so many of you recommended both of these mascaras. This is the L'Oreal Panorama Voluminous Mascara, and then this is the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. And I believe I got both of these in the brown. Yeah, both of them in black brown. And so many of you said that these were the best mascaras ever, ever, ever. So I'm gonna put one on either eye and wanna try them out. And then I had a few people recommend the Annabelle Skinny Mascara, and I was like, oh my gosh, I for sure used to use this. I haven't seen this in a minute, but putting this on your lower lashes, it's been so long, so was happy to be reacquainted with this one. Let's start with the L'Oreal Panorama. I'm gonna do it on my left eye. Whoop. Oh, what the frig is that? Is that how it's supposed to be? I get it if it is supposed to be that way. No, the wand looks to be straight, my friends. How does that even happen? How is that snapped in half in my packaging? It's also so goopy. I don't even want to like. Okay, so this will not be a fair test to this mascara, I fear. But this could also be some new technology that they could consider. I feel like I've certainly seen some bent mascara wands like this in the past. It's like my little spectacles on a stick. Like, hello, yes. I feel like I'm so close to stabbing my face with this. It feels so wrong. I love the color of this. I've always felt like in my heart that Lancome like crushes mascara. And then because they're owned by the same parent company, like L'Oreal is also kind of the epitome of mascaras. Do they share the same factory? Is it in fact the same formula? Oh, well, we'll never know. I don't know. That was hilarious though. It looks pretty, but LOL, what just happened? Let's try the telescopic lift. Will I have a normal wand? Yes. Okay, great. I believe someone actually specifically wrote that I wouldn't like this wand because it's the hard plasticky bits. You are correct. I often stab my eyeballs when I use ones like this. So I'm just gonna hold my breath and be extra careful. There's one longer side and one shorter side, so I'm just gonna flip between the two. So this one's obviously meant to be like a lifting mascara. The other one's a volumizing mascara. And comparing the two, this one's definitely slightly softer and more fluttery. I feel the lift. I also feel the lift on that one. Was it because it was bent sideways and literally shoving my lashes up? We'll never know. But I prefer the look of this one. I don't love that kind of more clumpy volume. I do love a fluffy volume, if that makes sense. So for my everyday mascara, I prefer the look of this one. Both very pretty. Love the black brown color, so nice. I live for a more brown mascara. You have to tell me what you guys think about the comparison of these. Okay, let's use the Annabelle Skinny Mascara on the lower lashes. I just had like such a memory burst when I saw this. I was like, oh, how did I forget about this? I know I used to love it. I don't know when or where or how long it's been, but I know that I have had this many a time before in my makeup collection. So thrilled to see that it's still around. It's got this tiny, tiny little wand, and you can just give it a little wiggle on the lower lashes, which is so perfect because for me, I have really long lower lashes. They're very bizarre, and I always look like a raccoon when I put mascara on my lower lashes because it just, when you're using these big like chunky volumizing mascara wands, it's so hard to just be very soft with it. So having a little product like this to just really touch and wiggle on the roots of the lower lashes is so nice. Oh, so pretty. Wow, I love that. Straight into the everyday makeup bag. I almost forgot the highlight, you guys. I almost forgot the highlight. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Lip Glass Highlighter Stick. This one's in the shade Glossy Pearl. This is a perfect dupe for some of the very, very glowy, dewy highlights on the market. It is absolutely exquisite and the color is divine. So let me just dot a little bit of that on top of the cheek, even though I do feel like we had quite a glowy cheek going on. We don't necessarily need highlight, but no one needs highlight. We just want more highlight. Sincerest apologies for having skipped over that. We are back to our glowing states. Thank you so much. Okay, let's do some lip liner. Someone has said you must try the hard candy lip liners. And I was like, I don't remember the last time I tried a hard candy product in general. So I picked this one up. This is the Perfect Match lip liner. It's got a little twist up product and then a little brush on the other end. It looks very light, maybe a little bit pinky. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's kind of that like peachy pink vibe, which actually might really nicely go with that L'Oreal blush that we have on. Very creamy. Oh, too creamy. Ah, I get it everywhere. Ooh, the brush is nice to blend that in. You don't need the brush, you could just use your finger, but it actually set pretty quickly. Like it actually got kind of gloopy. I don't like that feeling. Yeah, it just dried down like immediately. Ah! I feel like I have like glue on my lips, like dried down glue. You guys know that feeling? It was so funny how many of you said NYX Nude Beige. I was like, too soon. I'll never get over it. NYX, what have you done? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't love that one. Too dry for me. If you do prefer a more matte lip pencil, you might love that one. I actually wanted to try a few different lip products because I got so many good recommendations, and it seemed to be that there were so many new lip products in the drugstore market. So let's see what we can do here. Someone suggested the CoverGirl Outlast Lip Stain. I picked this one up in the shade 20. Admire, and I don't know, is this new? This one brought me back to my second year of university, which was, when was that? 2012? That was the first time I ever made an e.l.f. makeup order, and I had ordered little lip stains, and they literally looked like this. But this color looked so pretty. I really wanted to try it. I am loving the whole stain lip life right now. It smells delicious. It smells like candy, and this color is perfect. It's that perfect like toned down purpley mauve. Oh, so pretty. It's applying quite patchily. I'm like, ooh. This one's also probably gonna be quite dry. I think that's why I love the Victoria Beckham Beauty lip stain so much, because it's just a normal applicator and it's so easy. You just do like one wash and it's done. I'm not having to sit there and like fiddle with this dry little, like literally a marker. It smells delicious. The color is beautiful, but yeah, just really hard to apply. It's patchy and it's also instantly drying down very, very dry. I don't know. It looks pretty, but just first off, not my favorite formula ever. I also picked up a few shades of the NYX Fat Oil Slick Click Shiny Lip Balm, and I thought that this shade might be complementary to this lip stain. I didn't actually open it. That's the other downside. There's not many testers. It's hard to see what the products actually are, and you often can't return things once opened, so you just gotta open and hope and pray. This one's the shade That's Major. Looks pretty. Very shiny. Also smells like candy. Oh yeah, that is pretty. That is Major. Oh, that's gorgeous, gorgeous. I hate the packaging. It's just like a little bit too, it's a little too young and fun for me. I feel like I'm just an old, neutral loving millennial. So every time I see this, I'm like, it's not my preferred packaging, but beautiful, beautiful. That just cured my very, very dry lips. Let's see the shade Thriving. Oh, yeah, that's a little cotton candy. Oops. Yeah, that's a JK. I thought it would maybe be like a cool toned pink, but again, there's no tester, so I couldn't see. That's a little neon for my liking. I don't like that one, but that's major. Beautiful. And then so many of you said that I should try the NYX Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serum, which, this is the packaging here, also looks a little bit, I want to say juvenile, but all the shades also appeared quite deep. This is Drippin' in Rose. Very, very pigmented indeed. Looks beautiful. I think I'm just gonna stick with this one right now because I'm loving how this looks. Very pretty. Much more purpley than I was anticipating on going for, but I think the shade is pretty, so I'll just leave it so we can just bask in it. Other than that, I think like NYX has so many of my favorite lip products, but also Revlon. Revlon just crushes it. You guys know how much I love the Revlon Lustrous Lip Shines. They had recently redone the packaging and kind of redid the shades. Glazed Mauve is one of my faves. I also have Pink Flip. You cannot go wrong with a lustrous lip shine. These are incredible and I've loved them for years. And then also just their lipsticks, really consistently. If you're looking for a beautiful lipstick, the Revlon lipsticks are phenomenal. So beautiful. Yeah, lots of gorgeous lip options at the drugstore. Well, we've got some conflicting shades going on the face. We've got a very cool toned eye. We've got very peachy cheeks and a base, and then we've got just a purple lip. But it was a good playtime nonetheless. Lots of beautiful products in here. Thank you so much everyone for sending your top picks from the drugstore makeup lineups. I'm always happy to put them to the test and see how they go. We've got a gorgeous glowing base on right now and lots of fun new lip products in the mix. So would love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think of the makeup look that I created? What do you think of some of the products I tried today? Do you have any products that you think I missed that you'd love for me to try? Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much as always for being here and for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new Everyday Me video. Bye!